Hey guys, happy Monday. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys had a great weekend. While you're here, you know what I'm going to say before you forget. Go ahead and show your girl some love by liking the video and hitting subscribe if you are feeling the vibe. Those interested in remote work, I post around 12 to 13 per week on my personal channel. Last video I posted was on Friday. It's 2 non-call center-based positions that are remote. I will link that in the comments below. Plus I have Storytime, life after divorce, all that kind of stuff is on my personal channel. So that will be linked in the comments below. Okay, let's talk about today's video. How many times have y'all heard somebody get cheated on? Like if it was you, one of your friends, etc., right? This is a good old cheating story time, except she is married. So she has to sit down with the mistress. Now I'm a little late to this party. This came out, I think, last month, but I just ran across it. I just watched it. And when I tell you, I said, I got to do this story because there is so much we can learn and grow from. Y'all already know, like, yes, my channel is mainly TikTok compilations, but those who really follow me, y'all know that my main goal of this channel is the commentary. That's why I take my time to really talk on the commentary, because there's always something we can learn from it. So y'all know we're gonna have a good conversation about this, because baby, when I heard this story, I'm like, oh yeah, there's a lot we need to talk about. So go ahead and watch it without further ado, and then I will be back at the end for a very detailed commentary.
So not too much on me, okay? Keep all y'all "you crazy, couldn't have been me" comments to yourself, because you never know until you're in the situation. A year ago, I had a feeling that my husband was seeing somebody else. So like any good investigator, I grabbed his phone and I checked it. And my husband has two phones because he's an entrepreneur. He has an Android and an iPhone. The iPhone to a cheater is like gold. So many locks, so many different things. An Android to a cheater is perfect for the person that's finding out that he's cheating. There's certain features on the Android that allow me step by step his location, everything that he was doing throughout the week and the day. So I seen this particular location in a section in Albany in Philly, where he was there every single day for 2 weeks. Granted, he told me he was going to work. Now, remember, I told you he's an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur too. I'm super busy. I'm taking care of my dad. He has cancer. I have children. I run a business. I have family. Like my niece just had a baby. Like my sister had a baby. Like I'll be really busy. And I didn't have time to check over him. Like if you say you're going to work, go to work. Like make some money. Thanks. But just something wasn't right. Like he had to spend a lot of time, and I just didn't feel like I was getting no attention. The only attention I was getting would be late at night when he would come home. Like, oh babe, I missed you all day. Like today was hard on me. It was real stressful, but didn't come home with no money. So he told me, oh, I'm going to my storage to go pick up some stuff. I said, all right, cool. I'm just asking, I'm wondering, is he going to go back to that location that I seen on his phone? Screenshot the location. Lo and behold, he's at that location. How do I know, you ask? Well, I was on the phone with him. He stays on the phone with me while he's in the car. And when he gets out the car, he's like, oh, babe, I'm at my job. I'll call you back when I'm done. So in my phone, I took the storage address into the address that he was frequenting. I took the address and put it in my GPS to see how far apart it was from each other. It was 23 minutes. He stayed on the phone with me for exactly 23 minutes. I knew at that point he had reached his destination. So I get in my car and I drive to that destination. It took me 45 minutes to get there because we live like really far away from the city. But when I finally got there, I drive past and I see my husband on the porch with some chick. I park around the corner and I call him. I'm giving him one chance to if you just pick up the phone and you say, oh babe, I made a detour at a customer house, I will just drive off and go home and this will never have happened. He didn't answer. So I got out the car and I walked up. He said, what you doing here? Like an episode of Cheaters, a deer caught in the headlights, and she's just standing there looking stupid. I'm like, yo, you've been lying. You've been coming here. Oh, this is such and such. I've been doing your floors, right? Like the blower's in here. It's all these kids in there. And she's like, oh, the blower's in there. And I asked her. She's like, oh yeah, he was just doing my floors. But something just didn't seem right. I couldn't prove it. As a matter of fact, I felt horrible because I felt like I embarrassed myself. This woman is telling me that nothing's going on. He's just doing my floors. He's been doing work here because I just moved here and my house really needs a lot of work. And he explained to me, like, I know you don't like me doing odd jobs because my leg is bad, my hip is bad. I know you don't like me doing odd jobs for money, but I decided to take on lots of jobs at this one house. I'm like, so why you just didn't tell me? Why you been saying you at other places? He was like, no, I never told you. I just said I was at work. He won that round. So a couple of weeks later, I just couldn't get it off my mind. So I checked his phone when he thought that the smoke had died down a little bit. I checked his phone and saw these text messages from a text now. I look in the phone and I said, call me. This girl calls me from her real number. As a detective, again, I go to Cash App to see who the person is because, of course, her number wasn't saved. Lo and behold, it's customer. So I look to see how many times he talks to customer, and he talks to customer all the time. FaceTime with customer. Even saying, all these different things to customer. So after I found out all of that, he tried to lie. He was in the doghouse for a couple of weeks, and then you know what? I just forgot about it. I think I kicked him out. He slept somewhere else for a little while. Fast forward a year later, which was the day before yesterday, I'm at work, and this girl calls my work phone from a text that I couldn't prove. So before I get to the part where she called me from a text-free number at work, I forgot to tell y'all about the part where I found out she was backing a picture. That's a very important part. I'm going to give y'all some tips. I'm hoping that y'all may not cheating, but judging by those comments, a lot of y'all are going through the same thing. So here's some tips if you don't want to leave. If you just want to find out and you really need proof, then I got you. And I also know that y'all want longer videos. I don't know if I'm going to do a 10-minute video, but I do realize that the videos are kind of short. I honestly can't believe I'm about to admit this, but I am all in, and I want to tell y'all every single thing that happened. So I had that same feeling that I had from last year, that something just wasn't right. My husband was spending more time out of the house. He was flipping his phone over. He was starting fake arguments just so he can go away for long hours at a time, staying out long hours at a time, not communicating. It was just a lot happening, and you could just feel, like you just get that feeling that something's not right. Spending a long time in the car on the phone, hurrying up and getting off the phone when I come around, talking on the phone in code, stuff like that. So I decided to figure out what's going on. So Friday, it was time for me to pick up my daughter from work. So I said, all right, babe, I'm about to go. I'm about to go get her from work, and I'll see you when I get back. So before I left, I called my work phone from my personal phone, put it on speaker, then put it on my desk, and put my personal phone on mute. Then I put my AirPod in and put the phone in my purse. So I could hear everything that was going on in my room, even though I wasn't there. Now, I know y'all thinking that's a lot. It really was a lot. And now when I'm thinking about all the stuff that I had to do to find out somebody was cheating on me, it's crazy, especially when I already knew. But we here, and I already did it. It's already done. It's already over with. Now, this is a sidebar. If you don't have two phones and you in the same boat as me, you might want to take your AirPod, put that in, put your phone on live mode, and listen in if you got to. So all I hear is him arguing with somebody, saying, you insulting my intelligence, and he's arguing with whoever this is on the phone. It sounds like it's probably a woman on the other end because of the things that he was saying. Oh, so you're not messing with me no more? So it's like that? So that's how you want to do it? Whatever like that. Then he hangs up the phone on her and then calls me on my other line. So I click on the other line like everything cool. I say, hey. He said, oh, hey, babe, I'm really trying to get some stuff together. It was like Jekyll and Hyde. Like, I literally just heard you arguing with somebody in my ear, and then you called me on my other line and code switched into a soft teddy bear. This is how I know that you have serious issues, for real. I was so annoyed by what I just heard, so I wasn't really normal. So I just said, she about to get in the car, so I'm going to just see you when I get home. He said, all right, babe, love you. I'll see you when you get here. And guess what he did? Called that number back. I guess whoever it was that he hung up on, he had some unfinished business that he wanted to say. This time he goes on to say, well, if that's what you want to do, if that's what you feel like you need to do, all right, well, block me then. You can't be serious and whatever. He still was talking with a lot of bass in his voice. So you would have thought I finally got the proof that I needed. But no, I don't know who he was talking to. I don't know what he was talking about. It could have been anybody that he was talking to. I needed more. So I went on his Instagram, and just to see who was following him, and the same woman that he told me that he wasn't talking to from last year randomly started following him on Instagram. So I asked him, hey, are you still talking to this female? He says, oh, why you asking me that? Oh, I had called her when you left just so I can see if her son wanted to work with me. So I just said, all right, whatever, and just went to be a roommate. Now we get into the text-free number. The next day was Saturday. I go to work like normal. We had a lot of parties that were booked. Everything was cool. I'm sitting in my office and I get this call on my work phone. So I answered it. Hello, thank you for calling Sugar Spice Case, blah, blah, blah. Somebody on the other line says, Leash? Is this Leash? Is this Leash? And she just kept saying, is this Leash? But her phone was acting weird and it was kind of breaking up a little bit. So the first thing in my mind is that we were just talking about this girl last night and she just called me because she's playing on my phone. So I called the number back. It was a text now number. Oh, the number you reached is not reachable, whatever. I texted, it turned green, and I realized that it was a fake number. So I called her and said, hey, did you just call me? He said, I didn't call you. Who is this? Who is this? I didn't call you. I said, you just called my work phone. And she said, no, I didn't call your work phone. And I'm like, you just called my work phone. But whatever. If you're saying you didn't call my work phone, then have a great day. I apologize. So my store manager walks into my office. We're talking about some work-related stuff, and my phone rings again. I said, yeah, hello, thank you for calling Sugar and Spice. And the girl's like, Leash? Like, hello? And I'm like, yes, I knew that was you that called me. I didn't just call you. So one, why are you calling me Leash? First of all, you don't know me like that, and only my friends and family call me Leash, so you're not either.
He doesn't know it, but a year from now, our family...
I didn't call you, but what makes you think that it's okay for you to call me? And I said, excuse me? I said, so that wasn't you that just called me from a text-free number? And she said, oh, no, that was not me. I don't even have one of those. Baby girl, you do, because that's how you're texting my husband, off of text-free numbers. He's texting you off them, you're texting him off of them, so come on. So I excuse myself from my office and go back into my stock room. And at that point, I started asking her questions like, look, I don't know what's going on here, but can you just tell me what the heck is going on with you and my husband and why he was arguing with you last night? Because I'm pretty sure that was you on the phone. She tries to play all dumb, like she don't know what argument I'm talking about. I said, he wasn't yelling at you last night and told you that you was insulting his intelligence? She said, oh yeah, that was me on the phone, but I don't know what you're really looking for. I don't know what you're looking for. I said, I just want answers. She says, well, the answer is we sharing him. He both ours. Then I proceeded to ask her, so what you mean by we sharing him and he both ours? So you're admitting, so last year when I asked your nut self on the steps, you try to tell me he was just doing your floors. Now you're doing more than your floors, huh? Listen, it don't even matter. It don't even matter. You're not going nowhere. You're not going nowhere. It don't matter what I say. You're not going to go nowhere. You've been with him all this time, and me too. We sharing him at this point. He both ours. I remember everything I seen when I went to her house, and I said, you know what? This conversation is beneath me. This whole situation is beneath me. I said, you have a good day. But even though it was beneath me at the moment, I couldn't help but feeling crazy on the inside. So I immediately left out of work, got in my car, and y'all, your girl cried in the car. I think I was crying because, yes, she finally told me the truth. I finally don't feel like I'm crazy. I know I wasn't crazy, but sometimes when somebody is manipulating and twisting the truth around, it makes you really feel like you're crazy. So I immediately called him. He didn't even answer. So I blew him up a little more. He's like, oh, I'm doing somebody's floor. What's up? What's going on? Only thing I could think to say to him was, why you always gotta make me look stupid? You always gotta make me look dumb. The only thing that I kept screaming is, why you always have to make me look stupid? You gotta make me look stupid to everybody. It's just embarrassing. Like, why do you feel like you always need to embarrass me? What are you talking about? What's going on? I said, she called me. She called me and said that we were sharing you and you both are. What are you talking about? I never touched that girl. Whatever. I hurried up and hung up. I went home. It was bothering me so bad because I didn't really get what I needed out of her. So I gave her a call. As soon as I got in the house, I started talking to her. We was on the phone for like 45 minutes. She was seemed like she was a little weird the whole time, like not trying to tell me nothing, but trying to pop fly, like, oh, you the wife? I said, so what was you going to do when he got his surgery? Like, was you going to come visit at our house? She's like, no, well, you the wife. You take care of all of that, and I'll be around when he get better. This is really all the stuff that she's saying to me, like, oh, you the wife, you do what you got to do, I do what I got to do, you get what you get, I get what I get. He gets my hair done, gets my nails done, like little high school stuff. Like, I'm looking for somebody that's going to help pay bills, not to get hair and nails and pedicures. Like, I don't care about none of that. So then, this is where everything changes. She went from being here to, oh, he's about to walk in this door. I said, you want to sit on the phone and hear what he have to say? So I had my AirPod in my ear, and I put my phone in my pocket, and I started talking to him. I was very upset. I'm asking him, like, why would you do this to me? I already talked to her. She said, we sharing you both are. I'm not talking to that dirty girl. I'm not talking to that girl. Oh, my God. I just needed her son to do some work because he got cheap labor and this and that, and I would never do nothing. I never had sex with nobody else since we've been married. I swear. Like, he's saying all of this stuff. She heard all of that, and as soon as I got in my car, she said, can we meet? Oh, so you want to meet your girl now? Okay. All right, so when do you want to meet? Oh, today. Oh, you want to meet today? Okay. All right, so I can drive into the city and be there in like 40 minutes. Where you want to meet at? And I said, I'm not coming to your house. So she said, it's a bank near my house. I said, well, the bank closed. Like, it's a little late. Don't you think the bank closed? She said, no, not to go in the bank. Like, we can talk at the bank. I said, but it's cold. It's wintertime. Like, I'm not standing outside talking to you. I mean, we can talk in my car. And she said, I'm not talking in your car. So I'm like, okay, so do you want to go to a restaurant? She's like, oh, well, the only restaurants around here is like Popeyes and like stuff like that. I'm like, well, we can meet like somewhere further and sit down and talk. And I'm like, you asked me to meet. Is it a reason why you acting all weird? She's like, oh, well, your husband said that you be doing a lot of recording. I'm like, so you think I'm going to record you? For what? She's like, yeah, so when we meet, can it not be no devices? Like, can we put our devices away? Because I don't want to be recorded. I'm not trying to be in the middle of this. I'm like, you kind of are in the middle of this, but I understand what you're saying. Whatever. I just wanted to hurry up and meet. So we agreed to meet at this restaurant called Panda Express. When I got there, she wasn't there yet. I got there, I texted her. She said, I'm pulling up now. So I'm like, all right, cool. I got out the car, I go inside the restaurant, I just walk right in and just sit at a table. I waited for a couple of minutes and she walks in. She still seemed like she was a little offish or weird, so we just sit down and she said, all right, can we just put our phones away? Like, we're gonna put our phones over here on this table over here, our AirPods, watches, everything. Which was kind of crazy because you're the one sleeping with my husband, but yeah, you're the one afraid to get recorded just by saying something and afraid that I might take it back to him. I'm confused. Are you the wife or am I? So she basically asked me, okay, so what do you want to know? First of all, if y'all remember, she's the one that said she wanted to meet. I agreed because I did want to talk, but she's sitting back like, okay, what do you want to ask me? I wasn't trying to ask you anything. I was hoping that you would come here and just give me all the tea. That's all I really want. So I just started asking her questions, and the first question that came to my mind is, point blank, did you sleep with my husband? She said yes. Yes, we've been sleeping with each other for a year. It felt like a punch, but I kept my cool, and I finally got the answer that I was looking for. She looked me in my eyes and told me, yes, I'm sleeping with your husband. So I asked her, so when I came here last year, and y'all both said that you was a customer, were y'all really sleeping with each other? She said yes. As a matter of fact, we had just got finished arguing when you walked up. And I said, arguing for what? And she says, by that time, we had already been talking for about 3 months, and I just was asking him when was he going to leave, because I'm already separated from my husband. Your husband? Yes, y'all. Customer is married. She basically said she didn't care nothing about her husband. They was already separated. He was a dog. He did his dirt. She left him. So you found a new one? I asked her how they met. She said that he did do her floors. She was a customer, which we already knew about that. She was a customer, and she was going through a separation and had kids, and they talked and kind of hit it off. She said that he had expressed that he was going through a separation as well, which is not true, but that's what they told each other, and they kind of just went from there. I asked her if they used protection. She said no. Of course, my stomach started hurting so bad. I just felt like I wanted to ball up, but I really couldn't. I asked her where was they sleeping with each other at. Have she ever been to my house? She said no. I said, do you know where I live at? She'd be like, no, but I know where your business is. I also asked her, so what do you get out of the relationship? She said, well, he got me a lot of things, just cash apping me money or giving me money in person for my hair and my nails and pedicures and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, the real question, did he ever pay any of your bills? Did he ever, and she was just like, no, like nothing like that, because I never really asked him to do nothing like that, but just whatever I needed. If I asked him for money, of course, he was right there and gave it to me, which was a shock to me because I'm the sole breadwinner in my house right now. So I was kind of taken aback by the fact that this woman can get whatever she wants and I can't even get no help. At this moment, I'm extremely pissed, but I continue to fight through it. I'm trying to ask her more and more questions. I'm asking her for receipts. I'm like, do you have text messages, phone calls, anything like that? When I seen these text messages, y'all, it took everything in me not to just, Text messages from my husband to her was like, hey babe, I love you so much, I miss you so much. And she's like, oh my god, I miss you so much, I wish you were inside of me, I miss you being inside of me, I need you, I need to talk to you. He's sending her long paragraphs, encouraging text messages. Now this is where he's good at. He didn't never text her from his real number. They both had text apps, but you can tell that it was him. I knew it was him. The dates added up. He would start an argument with me, and he would say, all right, are we still on for tonight? And they would go to a hotel for 4 hours, and then he would come back home and then be at home with me. Now, mind you, he told me that he hadn't talked to her in a long time. She was an old customer, and he was kind of working with her son. But why did I see call logs? He called her on Valentine's Day. I asked her, did he get her anything for Valentine's Day? She said no. A lot of the stuff, it just seemed like it was childish. But just the fact that all of these text messages, why are you telling a side chick that you love her so much and you just didn't use protection? That's the number one thing. You going raw? I can think about is my health. My husband is having unprotected sex with this random woman who has a husband who could be dipping back with her husband. And who knows who it? So I continue to ask her more questions, and I notice that she starts becoming real comfortable and starts asking me questions. She said he never has his ring on when he's with her. So I was like, all right, well, let me show you pictures of him with his ring on. I told her when our anniversary was, it's in November, and she said, oh, I already talked to him about that. He said y'all didn't do anything. Lo and behold, I showed her all the stuff that we did for our anniversary. We went candle making, we went out to dinner. He had this beautiful hotel set up with all these rose petals. It was so beautiful. She was like, oh, wow, I really didn't know that. She said, can you tell me about your trip to Mexico? I said, yes. I helped him along with his sister to get his passport and took him to Mexico for his birthday, his 40th birthday. She said, yeah, well, he said that, it was a surprise and he didn't know nothing about it. He didn't really want to go. He just wanted to be with me. So I showed her all of the pictures. He had his ring on. He seemed really happy. Judging by the pictures, we were making love every day. So I'm not really sure where that came from. When we came home, and then on my birthday in September, we went to Jamaica. He told her, oh, he had to go to Jamaica for somebody's wedding. I said, somebody's wedding? I said, he took me to Jamaica for my birthday. I showed her, the bed where it's a happy birthday with the rose petals, the romantic dinner on the beach. He was wearing his ring, really happy around that time. Everything was great. These are the things that she didn't know. Me showing her family photos, me showing her pictures with him with his ring on, pictures of him being happy, pictures of him in the kitchen cooking. This is the person that I thought, was not, having an affair. She got upset and just said, oh my god, he's a liar. So I asked her, I'm like, well, did y'all ever get dressed up? Did he take you to any restaurants? She said, no, we went to Popeyes and just fast food, Jamaican food and chicken and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, so did y'all ever go out on any dates? So she said, yeah, well, he did take me to the race car track and we did certain things little things like that, but nothing much. We ended up talking in the restaurant for 4 hours. We talked about so much. At the end of the day, she's a woman, she's a married woman, it just so happens, but a woman. So I'm not going to be sitting in here bashing her, whatever. Of course, I sent a couple of pictures over to my group text and they roasted her to no end, but I'm not about to do that on the internet. Because at the end of the day, I married him. I didn't marry her. I had vows with him, not her. So she was just collateral damage. So 10:30 rolls around. I said, all right, well, I'll walk you to your car because the restaurant's closing or whatever. She said, oh no, I caught my lips, it'll be here. I said, you don't drive? You don't have no car? She was like, no. And I'm like, okay, enough is enough here. I'm not bashing nobody when I have a car and not driving. I don't know what people's situation is, but when I really think about my husband, when I really think about him, when I think about the time that he wasted on a whole other woman and her children, we could have been trying to get some money, or we could have been spending time with our children, making memories. All of the time, he split in half. and waste it with a whole nother person and a whole nother family, and all the gas money he used and time that he spent driving over there, like all of the time that you can't get back. That's the part that bothers me so much. Like, you did all of this, and for what? What are you gaining? You gaining nothing. But I tell you what, you sure did lose a lot. You lost a lot. You lost a family. You lost a good person. When you didn't have nothing, I was always there for you. Always trying to cheer you in, and always trying to make you feel better. Even when I felt like I was small, or when I felt like I was depressed, or when I felt like I wasn't good enough. Always trying to make you feel like you was good enough. Always. And I couldn't do nothing for you. It's not my fault. You just had to go out there and make yourself feel better by talking to somebody who you felt like you could control, or who was validating you. I couldn't do nothing for that. I have to really get that in my head. So anyway, I get in the car, I go ahead and take a little ride. Of course, I called my sister and told her everything. She was like, oh my God, like, come here, like, you don't even have to go home. I was going to go there, but you know what? I said, let me go home. Let me go home. I got something I need to get off my chest. So I went home. I'm on my way home, and as I'm driving home, all I could think about was the whole conversation I just had with this girl for 4 hours. I felt sick to my stomach, and after all of that, the only thing I wanted was for my husband to just apologize. I wanted him to apologize and not only see my pain, but feel it. I wanted him to feel my pain. So I get in front of my door, my husband's waiting in the driveway, and as I'm pulling in behind him, he's like trying to back out. So I just pull over to the side. So as he pulls out the driveway, he kind of sees me, and I'm flagging him down like, roll your window down. He rolls his window down, and it looked like he had an attitude. Now, mind you, he didn't know where I was because I didn't tell him. He was trying to call me while I was there, but I wasn't answering the phone. So I asked him what his problem was. He said, I've been blowing you up and you wasn't answering. Yo, like, I'm out. I said, I really need to talk to you. He's like, for what? And I'm like, I really, really need to talk to you. I said, I didn't want to go in the house. I said, let's go to Wawa. We live near several Wawas, so he just followed me over to the Wawa. Pulling the Wawa, he gets out of his car and gets over into mine. As soon as he gets in the car and I look at him, like, all of these emotions just come over me, and I broke down and start crying real bad. The only thing I could really say to him is, why didn't you tell me? Or I just didn't know that you hated me this much. You have to hate me. After having a 4-hour conversation with a woman and reading text messages about all the things that they've been doing, you have to hate me. There's no other explanation for what I just seen. I didn't say that. That's just how I felt. Because at this moment, he didn't even know we met. He just kept asking, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And I just kept crying like, I didn't know you hated me this much. And it's okay. It's okay. Like, you don't have to explain anything. I said, I know everything. He said, you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. Like, he started getting all hyper. And I know that when I try to tell him something, he starts getting hyper and his voice starts elevating. That means that he's about to say a bunch of lies and he's about to do his grand exit. And sure enough, as I'm trying to talk to him and tell him I know everything, he's telling me I'm lying and none of this is true. So whatever, he starts yelling and just gets out the car and slams the door. I know exactly what he did. He got in that car and he blew that girl up. I know he did. He grabbed his phone as soon as he got in the car. And as I drove off, I started beeping my horn saying, Cheater! I went home and went into my room and I'm pacing back and forth, pacing back and forth, pacing back and forth. As I'm pacing, I'm like crying, then I'm mad. Then I start walking, then I sit, then I stand, then I'm walking, then I'm pacing again. As I'm in the middle of pacing, I hear my dog barking. And when my dog starts barking, that means somebody is at the door. I knew exactly who was at the door. Next thing you know, he's coming in my room. He has the nerves to come in my room and grab his slippers, takes off his shoes and proceeds to put on his slippers. It took everything in me not to knock his head off. But I keep everything cool because in my head, I don't even have no tussle in me. Like, the old me would have just tussled and start arguing and drinking, and I don't even have nothing in me. All I know is everything I just heard for the last 4 hours is all I ever needed to know that I will never be happy with this man ever again in life. So I let him walk out the room. Because, you know, my children were in the living room. They were playing their game. Everybody was happy. My dad was resting in his room. Like, I'm not trying to cause a scene. My whole family is home at this point. 5 minutes later, this man walks back in my room. And I wasn't feeling so kind this time. Because at this point, I want to know, look, you already got your slippers. Why are you back in my room? He's talking about he had to use the bathroom. I said, use the kids' bathroom. He said, I will use the kids' bathroom, but one of the kids are in it. And I say to him, well, you need to go wait for it to be free because you're not using this bathroom. And he's talking about if you would have asked me nicely to get out, I probably would have listened to you. But now I'm just going to sit here and wait for you to move from in front of the bathroom. I feel the heat rising. Suddenly, I feel like I want to tussle. So he sits there and I open up the closet. I walk in and I start taking all his clothes and dropping them on the floor one by one and then talking about all the things I seen and those text messages from that woman I just came from dinner with. I forgot to tell y'all that I seen a particular nickname in this girl's phone, so they call each other Moto. I don't know what that means. I'm like, well, what does this mean? And she was like, oh, it's just a name. Like, he says Moto, I say Moto. And I'm like, okay, cool. So he's no longer my husband because, I mean, that's almost over. But he's Moto. Yep, new nickname, Moto. Moto and customer. Perfect for each other. Anyway, he jumps up, walks in the closet, and starts like grabbing his stuff and then tries to grab my stuff. I said, if you grab my stuff, I'ma scream. I told him, I don't really know why you don't want me to take your stuff off the hanger and take it out the closet because, I mean, don't you need help when you packing? Because you're not going to be here no more. He looked at me and said, what? Like, you kicking me out? Then for some reason, I just became real emotional and I walked in the bathroom and locked the door and stayed in there for a while. I really was in the bathroom having a pep talk with myself, like, what are you doing? Like, you already got all the proof. You standing here throwing clothes on the floor, acting like a kid. Like, you're better than this. Like, all you need to do is just go about your business and let this play out how it's going to play out, because you got the rest of your life to be free. So I came out the bathroom, walked over to my bed, and then he walks into the bathroom as if I just moved for him. Went to the bathroom, then he gets up, puts his shoes on, and then he leaves out the house. He didn't try to come back, and in all honesty, I know he was just away talking to that girl all night long. I just had a feeling. Because even though she tried to act like she was mad and she was never talking to him again, there was still a little bit of uncertainty in her voice. I didn't really get any sleep that night, but I still managed to get up in the morning, get all the kids off for school, made sure my dad was good, and then I left out and took a drive to my mom's. As I'm on my way to my mom's house the next day, I get this overwhelming feeling of like anger, and I just wanted to know, like, did she just play me or did he play me? For some reason, I still was acting stupid. I called him, and don't you know I was blocked? When I finally got through by calling private, I said, did you block me? He said, yeah, I thought you was going to block me, so I just beat you to it. So even still, you a grown man, you just found out that your wife was sitting at dinner with your mistress for 4 hours, and all you do is just block me? You don't want to apologize? Instead of him apologizing, you know what he said to me? Do you know what he had the nerve to say to me? He had the nerve to say to me to stop using my imagination, and I'm making this whole thing up. Then proceeds to say, I'm making it up because I don't want to be with him anymore, and if I didn't want to be with him, all I had to do was say so. But then let me tell y'all, in the same breath, he contradicts himself and said, oh, well, you ran into her? Or was this whole thing planned? I said, yes, it was planned. You think I just ran into her at the Panda Express? Then he starts gaslighting me and twisting around all my words very strategically. If I said I need you to apologize, he said, for what? What did I do? I said, for sleeping with another woman. He says, what woman? I say her name. He says, who's that? I say, we met at dinner and she showed me all these text messages. And he said, I don't know what you're talking about. It sounds like something you made up in your head. Then he starts asking me questions without answering the questions that I already asked him. Like, so tell me the story again. So you called one of my customers? And I said, what are you talking about? But remember I said that he told me I was making everything up. Then he starts saying, yeah, I already heard the recording. It seems like you were bashing me at dinner. Remember I told y'all a long time ago that me and customer agreed that we wouldn't even record each other. We put our phones on another table. We didn't even record each other. So him telling me that there was a recording is him trying to pin us against each other. But I didn't catch it, so I start getting extremely mad and I hang up on him and I call her. I said, yo, are you running some kind of game? You told me that we wasn't recording each other and yet there's a recording. She said, well, I was told that you was recording me and that I need to stop talking to you and I'm going to have to block you. At that very moment, I knew that she was staying and I had to exit. I said, you know what? This whole thing is crazy. I feel like I'm going crazy. All of this back and forth, all of this twisting everything around is really driving me insane. And if you ever dealt with anybody who likes to gaslight people, if you ever dealt with anybody who likes to twist words around and twist questions around and ask you a question without answering your question, then you know how frustrating and confusing this can be. Imagine dealing with somebody like this for years. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I got off the phone and I screamed so loud. And I felt like that scream was me releasing all types of negative energy out of my body, I swear, because when I got done screaming, I thought that I was going to drive all the way back home without going into my mom's house. But then I just decided, yo, I can't let this stop my life. This was the last straw for me. And I made it up in my mind that I will never, ever, ever talk to this man again. The audacity to hurt somebody who did nothing but care and love you. Hurt somebody like that to the core. Have them find out and you still don't have the balls to just apologize and admit to what you did. You want to hurt her even more. Twist the knife. So at that moment, I go into my mom's house, tell her the story. She's really upset. By the end of the night, I ended up going home. And on my way home, I posted that video. Because I knew if I finally shared this with the world, my truth, there was no coming back from this. No coming back from this. It's not something I can just delete and everybody will forget about it. No. I told my mother. I told my father. I've never told my father anything negative about my husband. Never. I told my brothers. I told my cousins. I told my best friends who I knew I couldn't come back from that. I told TikTok. I knew that if I told everybody, there was no coming back from this. I would be forced to leave this man alone. I don't care what nobody has to say. I don't care how anybody thinks that they're looking at me crazy because I'm putting all this on the internet. I don't care. It's been helping me for the last couple of days get over something that was extremely tough for me. It's actually giving me a second win, making me feel like I have a voice and making me feel like I can talk to other women about something that's cliche. You feel like you don't want to tell other people that you got cheated on? By judging by the comments, it looks like it happens to everybody. And I'm not even going to say it's happening to everybody because I do believe in my heart that there are good men out there. But just like there are good men out there, there are also some bad men out there. I had no intentions on doing any of this. I was just so angry and I basically rage posted. By the next day, I had woke up and the video had started going viral. Someone asked me for a story time and I said, why not? I should share my story. And that's when he came into my house and told me that if I didn't take it down, he was going to start leaving all these negative reviews on my business page, threatening me, saying that he was going to do things to me every single day for 30 days and 30 nights, whatever that means. So my mom and my sisters got together and they stayed at my house. They kept me company. They made me laugh. My mom cooked. She made dinner for my dad, gave him his medicine, and I just was trying to rest. I've been trying to get myself together. I went to the doctor. got myself checked out. Thank God everything was okay. Talked to a lawyer. Hopefully that'll all be situated soon. And now I'm going to begin the rest of my life starting today. Listen, if you know somebody with a strong, beautiful light, and you see that there's somebody in their life, whether it's man or woman, that's tearing them down and dimming their light, you need to pull them to the side and have a talk with them. And for the people who think they know the real motto, but never stepped a foot in our house, never laid in our bed, never been in between our conversations, mind your business. There's always 3 sides to a story: his, mine, and the truth. This is my last part. I hope you guys learned something from this. I hope you guys learn not to judge. I hope you guys learn that just because someone's telling their story on an open platform, that they're not clout chasing. What if they just want to tell their side of the story and air someone out because no one else will ever believe them, because this person portrays themselves as a king when he's really just a pawn? The divorce journey begins.
So here I am thinking that I'm just putting out a video, sharing my truth, minding my business and healing. I'm getting people coming back to me telling me what he's saying. So instead of apologizing or taking accountability for any of the things that you did, you decide that you want to rebuttal every single thing that I said. Sat there and watched every part of the video like it wasn't your real life, and came back with your version of the story, which ultimately is a lie, because that's what liars do. They lie. What I learned throughout this whole ordeal is that narcissists do not want people to know about their secrets. They like to manipulate the truth. They want everyone to think that they're perfect. And God forbid the next victim finds out what he did, they might run away. So remember in my video when I said I overheard a conversation of him on the phone arguing with a customer, right? He plays a newly recorded video for his family and said that was the video. I heard it and it sounds nothing like what I heard over the phone. How pathetic do you have to be to sit there and record a video of you talking to yourself on the phone, having a one-sided conversation just so you can try to prove that you did nothing wrong? I'm honestly so happy that it's playing out the way it's playing out, because it's making me even more happier. It's making me think that you're very pathetic, and I'm just happy that I got away from this situation. Like, the best days of my life are coming. Then we both know that I've been paying the bills in my household. But I never said he never paid bills. We're a married couple. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes he's down. Everything flip-flopped. So if he held us down, great. If I'm holding us down, great. All I'm saying is, how are you giving someone money when at the moment you're not holding us down? That's all I said. I never called you a bum. I never called you a brokey. All I said was, how are you giving someone money for nails and hair when you can't even pay your bills in your household? It's the truth. How? Then he proceeds to show them cash apps from 2020, 2021, and a little $300 and $400 from 2024. Nothing from January, February. Make it make sense. Stop talking about this. Like, I shared my truth. We're getting a divorce. Like, what are you doing? To be honest, you should be spending more time trying to get yourself together. Not gossiping with your family. Who's going to take up for you anyway? I'm not really thinking about my next relationship, but I already know when the time comes, I want to ask that man about his family dynamic. Was your mother in your life? So I know that you know how to treat women. Was your father active in your life from the time you was born? So I know you know how to be a man. I'm going to ask him all of these questions. Do you go to family functions? Because family is very important to me. I was raised with morals. I was raised with integrity. I was raised with honor. And some people just weren't raised like that. And it shows.
Okay, now that y'all watched that, let's get into it, okay? And I really don't want to make this long, so I'm going to try to be as detailed as possible in a short time as possible, okay? So I got my notes, so if I look down, y'all know why, okay? So when I watched this story, okay, it gives off that he did not like his own wife for real, okay? He should have never cheated in the first place, but it's the simple fact that you got caught. Any person who truly loves you like they say they do, genuinely love you like they say they do, if they make a mistake, they're going to own up to the mistake and try to fix it. The fact that this man, when confronted, tried to seriously gaslight her, that sent me through the roof, y'all. I'm like, he dangerous. He dangerous. Like, anytime that you lie to somebody in their face and make them think they crazy when you are freaking caught, you caught. And you know you caught, and then I had somebody do that to me before, to where you know you right about something and they would try to gaslight you into believing it was something else than what it really was. And I just immediately have to get away from those people. Like, once you show me like red flags of that, I might give you a benefit of the doubt the first time, but baby, once I see you really like this for real, oh no, oh no, I gotta go. I gotta get out of there because somebody might end up hurt. Like, I don't have time for the mind games. And that's what it is. It's like he playing with her mind to try to make her think that she just seeing stuff, hearing stuff. Like, no, she had a real sit down with your mistress. Like, that is crazy to me, y'all. That is dangerous. Stay away from people like that. Narcissists, stay away from narcissists. Oh my gosh. Woo, that right there. Okay. But again, there's no reason at all to cheat. Ever. No reason at all to cheat. I can understand sometimes when people go through like trials and tribulations in their marriage, sometimes people sneak off and cheat. Like, I just watched that Megan Good movie last night, to where she the new Lifetime movie that came out, to where she had an affair and then the dude was obsessed with her who she had an affair with. I can even understand, not saying it's okay, but I understand why she had an affair, because she felt like she wasn't getting love and attention. Now, it doesn't give you the right to, but I understand how some people fall into temptation. Like, if you're married, you're supposed to be my person forever. So this Megan Good was literally throwing herself at her husband, and he still would not give her like the time or day. Like, he's like, oh, I'm working on this book. I'm like, what? Like, she wanted to get sexy. I don't know how many times for him. And they had sex in 3 months, y'all. So I'm just like, this is beyond me. This is crazy. Like, yeah, but you know, doesn't give him a right to cheat at all, no matter what they're going through. But I think that it's crazy that like situations like this happen, and temptation can easily come up on you. So you have to be protected. Your union needs to be protected by God, which we'll get into later. Okay. Now let's talk about the side chick. Okay. Typical basic B side chick behavior. Okay. Because number one, I feel like it really is something in you just got to be off for you to be okay with being a side chick. Anybody speaking saying, oh, well, he both of ours, sis, like he both of ours, and thinking that's cute when you're an adult is beyond me. It's beyond me. I don't know why anybody thinks that's cute. First of all, if you secretly are messing with a married man where his wife does not know, you're in the wrong. I don't care if he's with it, obviously, or not, how much money he spent on you or not. You're in the wrong, because you are doing something behind somebody's back that you know would cause turmoil and pain to her and their family, their children, etc. You're in the wrong. Point blank, period. We know he in the wrong, but you're in the wrong too. And then what threw me about her is you said in the sit down that your last man was a dog. Your husband was a dog. And you leave your husband to be with another dog? Like, that's what's not making sense to me. Okay, y'all remember my last video when I spoke about, no, it's the video before last, I think, when I was talking about Cash Doll and her man, and comparing it to Sierra and Russell, and how I said one of them did the inner work. That's why her union was successful, whereas Cash Doll, I feel like she has more inner work to do or whatever, even though she's back with him now. But I guarantee it's probably gonna be maybe another cycle, but I don't know. Okay, I was just using her as an example for that video. But with that being said, the girl, it's like she obviously clearly hasn't done any inner work as well, because if you think it's okay to leave your husband to mess around with a man who's having an affair on his wife, like something is not right in your brain, mentally, emotionally, there to think that's okay. You think you're not about to go through the same turmoil with this man? Like, you just chose another dog. Like, she's slow. And then got the nerve to be like, oh, well, he's paying for my nails and anything I need, he paid for, da-da-da. Ma'am, that's typical side B behavior. Like, yeah, you would think that's okay. Did this man invest in a business for you? Did he buy you assets? Did he buy you a house? Did he buy you something that is valuable enough for you to sell and make money on and keep making money? Like, did he build wealth for you and your kids? No, you talking about some basic teenager, basic B behavior. Like, oh my, when I tell you I was pissed, I was pissed just hearing that, because ma'am, what? Like, how old are we? Are we in high school? Like, that impresses you? That's why he cheating on women like her, because he know that his wife, she has her stuff in order. Like, she's on her stuff. She got a business going. She's making money. Like, she's on her stuff. So of course he gonna cheat with somebody opposite to make his ego and self feel good about himself. Like, trifling. Okay. Now, if we did a deep dive, there was probably a lot more things that was wrong in that relationship. Like if I did a deep dive with her and asked her questions about the relationship before they got married and all that kind of stuff, I do feel like there would be a lot of red flags there. Okay. You know, we have to, as ladies, have to stop being in a rush to get married and have kids and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Because what I think possibly may have happened was, she probably has some issues, okay, going on somewhere to attract somebody like that, to attract somebody who does not love her like he should love her. You know, she was crying, all that kind of stuff when that was going on. I feel like she probably has some self-love issues. She probably she might even have some daddy issues to where he wasn't there how he needed to be for her. And y'all remember when I say daddy issues, just because they might physically be in a home don't mean that you can't have daddy issues if they're not there physically, financially, emotionally, mentally for you, okay? It's more into that. But anyways, she could have had daddy issues. She could have had some other issues to where she never really fully embraced self-love. Some people financially get on their stuff and they think that that's going to fill the void that they have. She could be one of those women to where she's financially doing good. She started this business, etc. But it still does not fill the void of emptiness within her for self-love. Okay. Which is a lot of us had to conquer. That was a journey I had to conquer as well. Manifesting my person. Okay. If you're interested in how to manifest your person, you have to do some inner work, but I give details on how I manifested my person and how you can manifest your person. It's like an hour-long video almost, and it's on my personal channel. So that will be my personal channel. Is linked in the comments below. All you gotta do is scroll on there and see the videos. It's like a pink background that says how I manifested my fiance. That's the right way for you to meet your forever person, okay? Because a lot of us do it the wrong way. But anyways, I feel like she probably needed to do more inner work because she's attracting somebody like him. There was probably already red flags. Please don't think getting married or having a baby will change the red flags in a man. There's two different types of men to marry, okay? I said to marry. No, you shouldn't. Not to marry, but there's two different type of married men, okay? One of the men, the first kind of man I will say that I'll talk about is the man who gets married because of convenience. Like he might not really want to marry this person and see this person for the rest of his life, be attracted to this person for the rest of his life, etc. But he does it because of convenience. He might be making a certain amount of money and he want to get with her because he know his lifestyle would be different, because he has children with her, because he keep hearing his family say, you need to get married, you got kids with her, you need to marry her, so it's those kind of men who didn't really want to get married, but because of the pressures or convenience or better of lifestyle, they marry them. That's one type. That's the ones you want to stay away from. Okay, if a man has not married you, I feel it depends on age, okay? Because when you're younger, it's a little different. But when you are older, if a man, in my personal opinion, if you're in your 30s and up, if a man has not asked you to marry them and they're in their 30s and up as well, within, I want to say maybe I'll give it 3, maybe 2 to 3 years, then he might not really want to get married to you. He probably still looking for his other person. That's just my opinion though. Okay. Cause I feel like a man who's looking for his wife, he's going to move strategically. He going to look at you and be like, that's my wife. I want her and I'm going to lock her down before another man can get her. Otherwise, he might just pull your strings along, okay? Make you have his kids, all that to be tied to you, but then still be looking for who he wants, okay? And then there's the second type of man who is a man who wants to get married, a man who has discipline, a man who is a family man who honors marriage and value marriage, okay? That's the kind of man who you want to get married to. A perfect example, Russell, Sierra's husband. Perfect example. You can clearly see he honors his wife. He honors his family. You want to get with a man who has spiritual discipline, okay? We all are humans. We all make mistakes. We all get tempted, but you want protection over your union. So you want to mess with a man who has good spiritual health, who fasts, who prays, who meditates, who, if he's religious, he goes to church or whatever, faithfully, okay? Preferably, you want to get with somebody who's in alignment with your spiritual beliefs, okay? So that is a big difference there. Don't get a man and try to force him into marriage. That's how a lot of these situations happen, to where women will get with men who really didn't want to get married. They talk them into, and they're like, oh, let me just go ahead and marry her because of the pressures and she's saying she want to get married, etc. But those usually don't work well. Get with a man who is looking for a wife. I noticed such a big difference from marrying a man, my ex-husband, someone who I feel like never really wanted to be a husband, like never really got into the role of being a husband, versus the man I marry now, who like is so happy to be married, and it clearly shows it in his actions. Like, big difference. But he also is very spiritually healthy. Like, we are very aligned to each other. And again, that is in my video on how I manifested my fiance. Okay, so that is how I feel about it. Y'all let me know how y'all feel. Another thing is what I want to add on, when she said that next time that she's ready for a relationship, she need to ask questions about their family dynamic. Absolutely, 100%. You need to see how that, remember what I said about daddy issues in the past. A girl needs, if she has daddy issues, she might have issues in relationships, knowing how to respect man, love man properly, etc. Okay, so her romantic life is very important from how she grew up. Like, it was her daddy there, was her dad not there? Doesn't mean it still can't be successful, but a dad is supposed to teach you what to look for in a husband, and vice versa for a mother and a son. She's supposed to teach you what to look for in a wife. So if he hate his mama, he don't respect her, 9 times out of 10, a lot of times he's going to have issues with women, okay? Because he has secret hate towards his mama and he never got it resolved. So that's how I feel again, y'all. So let me know what y'all think and your opinions. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see y'all on the next one.